Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Outlaw Nation Richmond 500. Coming out from Richmond Raceway, we got a fantastic night, some fantastic drivers on the horizon, just preparing for the broadcast right now. Qualifying order is in. Let me riddle that off real quick. Let's see. On the pole is your own Bulldog, followed by Smoke Fan on the outside pole. So we'll full Stuart Haas Gaming front row. On the second row, Chiza and, and Jason make up the second row. Third row, we have the 22 and 10. So Too Fast for You starting fifth, and Perky in sixth. Let's see here. Scotty B. Scotty B starts in seventh place, followed by Galen in the 13th and 8th. Beast of Asgard starts in ninth. Dagger starts in 10th with the 31. Let's see, I don't have him on my roll call. Oh, yes, I do. Flash 9 starting in 11th, followed by Trans Am Blue in 12th. And then rounding out the field, we have Outlaw Dillinger 48 in 13th. Dohar, you got a copy?
I got a copy, Matt. I'll tell you what, you got only got 13 cars out there, but I couldn't think of a better 13 to come out here tonight on Outlaw Racing Nation Saturday night short track style from Richmond International Raceway. It's certainly going to be a lot of fun seeing these guys at a short track for the first time. Just wanted to draw a little bit of attention to the points battle that's already starting to develop. We're only 2 races in to this young season, but that doesn't mean you can never start talking about points too early. Sitting at the top, though, hasn't won a stage, doesn't have any wins, but he's just been ultra consistent throughout the stages and the finishes of these races. Galen has a slim, and by a slim, I mean 1 point lead over a tie for second between G Sensi, who would get the tiebreaker with his victory in the Daytona 500. And Smoke Fan has actually made a nice recovery after kind of an abysmal Daytona speed weeks for him. He's rallied back up to be tied for second in the points. Uh, Z is going to be in fourth there, just a point behind that tiebreaker for second at 42. And Jason, last week's winner at Atlanta, coming in fifth, just 3 points out of the point lead. We've got a really, really strong battle basically between the top six right now, kind of separating themselves. 5 points between all of those guys in the top six. Certainly, those points are expected to shake up tonight, Matt. We've got 2 long stages at Richmond International Raceway, followed by the third, of course, final stage. Who are you looking at to maybe solidify their points position or kind of jump up in the standings tonight?
Well, Tyler, right now I'm looking at that Stuart Haas Gaming front row. You got your PlayStation and your Xbox driver in the same league on the same system. And surprisingly, neither of those drivers have won a race yet this season. We're going to a short track tonight, so no more Daytona, no more Atlanta. The draft is going to be very minimal, and I think it's really going to show where the skill is, and I think one of them is going to be able to take the checkered flag tonight.
Yeah, I think that's going to be huge for these guys, and I know it's something that uh, Smoke has really been looking forward to is basically getting away from the draft track. But we saw Smoke Fan come within about a half a lap of victory at Atlanta, happened to save the fuel there and tires, going for the unorthodox strategy. But of course, we saw Jason go fast. Jason able to get the victory, eke it out at the last second going into turn three there. A fantastic race with him, Smoke, and Bulldog, who was also coming because he had pitted later than everybody else for fresher tires. But as we wait for these guys to get ready to go racing here, I'm really looking for. Maybe he's more considered a dark horse. And when I was looking over the points, man, I was so surprised to see him. Uh, Scotty has been running up front in both these races, and he's dead last in points of the guys that have run both races. Uh, I got to think that Scotty's got a chip on his shoulder. He's going to want to come out here and just put together a solid race throughout and raise his stock in the point standings. He's been doing absolutely fantastic this season. Um, so it just surprised me to kind of see how low he was in the standings.
Yeah, I think you're right, Tyler. He's very fast, very, very fast in Atlanta, but I think a couple speeding penalties set him back there. So maybe if he can dial it up at Richmond and maybe take it a little bit more conservative into pit road, I think he'll definitely be a contender to be there at the end of the race and maybe even take home a win.
Yeah, that'd be huge for him to win in this star-studded field. You've got a bunch of pro league drivers, a bunch of guys that were in that top 24 a couple weeks ago that were vying for those pro league positions. If you guys are just tuning in, haven't missed anything yet. We're just waiting to amp it up and get ready to go racing here. Outlaw Saturday night, short track style. I can't wait. I've been having a blast calling these short track races. Of course, East Park Truck Series that you run. I got to call that one and see a lot of action from Bristol. Richmond, I hope, is going to promote a lot of side-by-side action. But when I talked to Smoke Fan before he dropped into qualifying there, he said he was really worried it was going to turn into another tire-saving debacle. And we know how Smoke feels about those kind of things. He likes to go 100% all the time. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys take advantage of that if the situation presents itself. They've been having a fabulous season with absolutely minimal cautions, but maximum thrill on the racetrack. The side-by-side action we saw at Atlanta, 2-3 wide constantly. I expect to see a lot of 2 wide action here at Richmond. These guys aren't going to want to play and run around in a line for too long. So I'm really excited to see what these guys will bring to the table as we await for the green flag.
Yeah, and I'm really thinking the same thing, and I think that might be the green temptation right there, and yes, it is. So we are going to hop in. As you see, we got some new graphics on screen. We'll be displaying our Stage 1 winner and our Stage 2 winner. They are on the screen. Just taking away the camera view angles makes it a little bit nicer as we're loaded in. They're going to do one pace lap, as always. So we'll be able to load in, and you'll be able to watch all the green flag. Want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Say hi in the comments, and let's have some fun.
Yeah, I hope that you guys do get active in chat. Got some possible winners you want to give a shout out to because these guys are going to put on a show. Got to give a shout out to old Smoke Fan there. He's broadcasting, so he's providing me the in-car analysis I'll be able to have to kind of give everybody perspective on what is occurring as the race is developing. It's going to be a long race, 200 laps from Richmond International Raceway, the 3/4 of a mile short track in Richmond, Virginia. They're taking their pace lap here. The two Stuart Haas Gaming teammates in the NASCAR Heat Pro League on the front row, of course, and then the 2 other Pro League guys right behind him. It's a Pro League studded, stacked up field there at the front of the pack with 4 of them there in the top 4. But getting ready
Green,
as they
green,
come
green.
out of turn 4. It's green flag in the air. Bulldog leads him down into turn number 1. Smoke Fan able to get right behind him in that 14 Toco warranty Ford Mustang. Takeover P2. Chiza goes wide, way wide to go back to P4 there. The 22 able to master and get up to third there. The 4-car Bulldog, though, he's got the 14 closing in on him. Those guys have probably been working together on that setup, so there is no shocker that they are nose to tail up at the front of this pack as we're in the early laps here. 49 laps, Matt. They're going to have to navigate here in this first stage. It's going to be quite the task, but I think these guys are definitely up for the challenge.
Yeah, and what a run by Bulldog and Smoke Fan right off the front row, nose to tail, pretty much almost separating themselves from the field back from that 22 car.
Yeah, getting quickly separated out about a 5-car length gap back to the third position. Bulldog and Smoke Fan still running about nose to tail, only about a car length of separation. Jason has actually been able to get up into the 4th position, kind of secure himself there. 21 of Scotty, talked about him in the pre-race. He's already up to P5, looking to really solidify his points position as they're going to complete lap number 5 onto lap number 6 here early on of the 49 lap stage 1. Bulldog gets a little wide there in turn one, but Smoke looking to the bottom, not able to get there as we see a battle here mid-pack. 17 Chiza, 31 of Flash 9 getting ready to do some battle. I believe this is going to be for about the 8th or 9th position. These guys are single filed out pretty quickly. I think we are going to see some strategy play coming into view as the 48 there is kind of the tail end of that train. As we're battling
Yeah,
side by
definitely.
side.
Right now, you're looking at that number 17. That's definitely where the battle is right now. Smokefan and Bulldog have checked out, but it's an intense battle between Chiza, the 31 of Flash 9, and the number 2 of Trans Am Blue as they go side by side, ripping through turn 1. Now, Tyler, I got to ask you a question. Now, thinking about the tire aspect from Atlanta, is it as crucial to try to take it easy and save tires here at Richmond, or is this more of a just go full out and maybe try to save a couple laps of gas?
This one's going to come down more to the gas. Oh, as we see Chiza get a little loose on corner entry there, hit the apron just a tad, going down into turn number one there. It's going to be really interesting to see. I think this track comes down more to gas than tire wear. Tire wear does play a factor, don't get me wrong, but nowhere as severe as we see a change for the lead here. Smoke Fan, as they went down into turns 3 and 4, Bulldog got the wall off 2. Smoke Fan was able to get to the lead. The 22 still secure in third position. But as I was saying, it's not as severe here in the tire wear aspect, so I don't think guys are going to have to save as much when it comes to that. They're going to be looking more at the field, trying to back off those corner entries, roll the center more, and then get on the throttle at late exit to make sure if they're looking to do a strategy play, that's kind of how they want to go. But your top 5 right now, Smoke Fan in that 14 out to about a car length lead here. He started P2, worked his way up to P1 here. Just 10 laps into this early stage 1 battle. Bulldog in second. The 22 car is going to be in third. That's too fast for you. Then it is going to be, I couldn't see that car in P4, but I know my teammate, Jerem Gornick, is
Let's
up
see,
to
21 of
P5.
Scotty moving up. Gornick in 5th as there's a very intense battle for the lead. I think you're right. Bulldog may have just nipped the wall, and that just enabled Smoke Fan to just edge on by. But I think Bulldog's car is just a little bit better. But I noticed he's getting just a hair loose off the corners, and Smoke Fan's really holding that line and running really consistent. So really good battle up front. As looking back in the mirror, you see the 22 Too Fast for You has caught the leaders. So when he catches them, we might see. I think we could see a possible change for the lead.
Yeah, it could definitely turn into a 3-car battle easily, where tire wear from a percentage standpoint isn't that big of a deal at this track. It does affect the lap times rather much, especially if you've got a more aggressive setup, maybe a little bit more camber, a little bit more tire pressure in it. Will affect the lap times on the long haul in a negative way. So if the 22 maybe doesn't have the best fire off speed, he certainly could have the best middle and long run speed to be able to catch these two Stuart Haas Esports teammates up here at the front. They're still nose to tail, though. Fantastic battle between these two. Bulldog basically just going to have to wait until Smoke makes a mistake like he did a couple laps prior before he could take advantage and try to get to the.
Oh, I think we lost Tyler there. Try reconnecting. But very intense battle up front. Smoke Fan still leads. Bulldog right on his bumper though. But I think Bulldog has a really good short run car and maybe not as good on the long runs. As you're looking off the corner, you can see him just getting just a hair loose and sometimes nipping that outside wall. But I think Bulldog may be a tick faster. So I think if it comes down to a short run, I think Bulldog definitely has the better car. But as you see, as you see the number 22 of Too Fast for You creeping into that picture, trying to make it a 3-car battle. And then the pack, starting with Scotty back in 4th place and Jerem Gormick back in 5th, are also starting to reel them in here as we got 35 laps to go here. And it looks like Smoke is getting himself a little bit bigger of a gap. As you see the field now finally starting to spread out. But you got to think, if you're a Smoke Fan, you got to really like seeing that gap now. Bulldog's off your bumper, and you're just trying to ride and click off some laps and really hopefully win a stage.
Yeah, that's the name of the game here and what you're going to be doing. You're going to be trying to manage that gap the whole time. You want to race your race. You don't want to necessarily go out there and do blistering lap times if you don't have to. You don't want to make a mistake here. This is
Ooh,
very
Bulldog
much.
made some significant contact with the wall coming off of that corner if you missed it.
Yeah, I just saw that now. So Bulldog trying to get as close as he can. He's digging for all he's got there off turn two. They go down through 3 and 4, coming off of 4 here. Smoke just able to really increase that gap as we are now closing in on about the halfway point of the stage, Matt. These laps are starting to rather quick, I should say. They are about to complete lap 21 here on this stage, so they're already firing off almost halfway through stage one, and the field pretty well spread out now. They're all got about 4 to 5 car lengths between each other.
Indeed, but like I said before, I think it's a three-car battle right now, and Bulldog's just getting a little loose off the corners. But as you see back there, it looks like Jerem Gormick has moved up to the fourth position, and you said it yourself earlier, how big it is to set your car up for short run and long run. And I think your pro league teammate set his car up for the long run, so he's gonna reel in these leaders as you see him making significant time up on the leaders. Tyler, you there? Maybe
Yeah,
lost
I
you for a
got
minute.
you.
All right,
I
sweet.
hear
I
you.
keep hearing noises in the background from people disconnecting and connecting for some reason as we see Bulldog brush the wall. That's going to allow Too Fast for You to make the move into second as he brushes the apron. If you're a Smoke fan, you just got to love what you're seeing in the mirror right now as it's just smooth sailing and you're driving away. Gormick still making up some valuable ground, diving down into turn one, and he's almost with Bulldog now, so it's going to be a really good battle coming up here.
Yeah, I'm expecting a good battle as the 22 able to get into second place there, trying to track down that 14 of Smoke Fan. Oh, it looked like Bulldog might have cut the wall one more time there as he's now just overdriving the turn just a little bit. It's got to get back into a solid rhythm here. That's the toughest thing about this racetrack, just getting back into rhythm and trying to get back to where you once were. Jeremy Gornick able to try to close the gap there between the second and third place runners. Bulldog getting a little loosey goosey though off turn two, Matt. That right rear is starting to scream a little bit as we see the 88 starting to close in.
I think you're right. It's a long race, though. I think he'll be able to come down pit road, maybe put about a half a round of wedge in it, and I think he'll be great for that second round. But I think he definitely just missed the initial setup and just made it just a tick too loose for that for the short run, and that's why you see him losing positions right now.
Yeah, we'll definitely know that he's going to be tuning into that and trying to get that car absolutely perfect for this stage two that'll be coming up. And then, of course, for stage three, where all the money's on the line. But right now, it's all about Smoke Fan just pulling away from the 22, the 4, and the 88. They're coming to complete lap 28 or 29, I should say. So they'll be actually starting lap 30 here, already clicking it off. About 20 laps to go here in stage number one. Smoke Fan still out to a pretty sizable advantage, about 4 to 5 car lengths over that 22 Ford Mustang of Too Fast for You. So far, it's been all Fords, but I'll tell you what, that 88 still making up good ground right there on the bumper of Bulldog to try to break up this Ford stranglehold on the top three here. As I expect we might be getting into some lap traffic soon. Oh, looks like Bulldog might be pitting. He's going to be the first of our leaders to come into pit road. Gets it nice and slow and steady, 30 miles per hour here. That's one thing we didn't talk about, Matt. This pit road, I honestly think, is the hardest pit road to get on in NASCAR Heat 4.
I really agree. This is probably one of the hardest pit roads to get on. We're going to hop on board with Smoke here as he makes a lap around. But just where the positioning is in the corner, it's so easy to just bump that apron and spin your car out. And not only spin the car out, you're looking at a penalty and maybe even spinning back up and hitting the field. Not only have I seen that, I've seen some people brush the apron and just clip that cone just enough to where, as you see, the 48 right there did exactly what I just said and
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately have to go down pit road. So definitely one of the trickier, if not the trickiest pit road to get into. You've got to be a really skilled driver to make it in here and out clean, and that's what I really think is going to define the winner tonight.
Absolutely. As we see Smoke Fan on the pit road, I was following his in car. His tire light had just came on. He made the decision to come down pit road about 2 laps after the fourth car. So we'll see
Ooh,
if Bull. Oh man,
I think Scotty B just got a speeding penalty right there with
yeah, he was.
contact from behind. That's what I meant about just that apron. You got to get down just a little bit sooner. It's right in the preferred groove, so it's just really unfortunate, but I believe he got a speeding penalty. We're going to ride on our current leader, Too Fast for You, as he puts 4 virtual tires on his Pennzoil Mustang.
Yeah, and Smoke Fan just coming out of pit road, so we'll be able to kind of gauge the advantage that he was able to grab over the 22 and the 21, but then see the advantage that Bulldog might have been able to gain on the rest of them by being the first of the leaders to pit. And then we'll see how it shakes out with the 88 of Jerem Gornick and how he's able to kind of fill in. And I was about to say, Matt, I didn't think the 21 did get a speeding penalty because this is a pit road where you can enter late. You might lose some time, but you can actually enter it late, like after that cone. Oh my goodness, as we saw 3 or 4 wide action there
Yeah,
with the
4
22.
wide coming off pit road, and you were right. I'm surprised. He must have definitely hit that second pit road line because he was screaming coming in, but a fantastic job to really save it and woe it up after that rear end contact really shows how good of a driver he is.
Yeah, 100% agree. But we see that Bulldog able to stay out in front of the 88 there in that battle as the 13 of Galen is still out on the racetrack. He has yet to pit. He is your current leader, still in stage 1 with about 13 laps to go. He has yet to pit. It looks like Chiza might have called it an early night. I've noticed a couple cars have been on pit road this whole time for the race, at least the past couple laps or so. I think
I
Likes,
think you may be right. Dirk Likes and Chiza has
yeah,
decided
which
to retire from the event.
yeah, formerly Dagger Racing there in that 3 car is on pit road, virtual blown motor for him and the 17 as the 88 of Jerem Gornick able to get by the 4 of Bulldog there, the 22 Too Fast for You, and Scotty looking to take advantage of the 4 car. He's on a little bit older tires compared to these guys. They're going to make quick work of that Stuart Haas Esport Mustang going down into turn number 1. But right now it's all about Smoke Fan. Matt, he's got about like 3 to 4 seconds over this foursome battle for what'll be second place once Galen makes his pit stop here momentarily.
Yeah, Smoke Van's almost got a full front stretch now on the leaders behind him. I think Bulldog really loved his tires when he came down pit road, put on 4 freshies, made up a ton of track position. You actually seen him get in front of JRM Gormick, but after everybody made their stops, it just goes right and it flip flops. So all the other drivers now have fresher tires. I think that's why you're kind of seeing the stack up back there from second on back. But Jerem Gormick, really solid performance tonight. We didn't really see much from him for Atlanta, and we didn't see much for him from Daytona. But a fantastic job right now, leading that line up in second position.
Yeah, he's doing really well as the 13 of Galen is on pit road. So following along with Smoke Fan here, who is currently in P number 2 once he passes by because the 10 car of Perky has yet to pit. Perky is now your current race leader. Smoke Fan trying to run him down. Matt, they've only got about 8 laps to go here. Do you think that 10 might be able to make it all the way?
Let's see. I gotta find him. I had no clue that you're able to drive 50 laps. I was actually going to ask previously what the pit window was because I didn't do any practice at Richmond. I'm not 100% sure, but
Well, I'll
it
tell
looks
you that
like if he stays out this long, he might have a shot at possibly stretching the whole thing. If
it's
I can
it's gonna be
find
a
him here, there he
It's
is.
gonna be a tall task to ask of this man to do that. But they are only at about 7 laps to go, and Perky, you see him just coasting around the
Oh, and
corner,
here he is on
basically.
pit road now.
There we go. That's the answer we were looking for there. I knew it was going to be tight, but Matt, he might be trying something out for stage 2. It's 2 laps less. Maybe you could find a way to save that extra 3 to 4 laps. Maybe even
I
coast for.
definitely agree. If you come in with a couple laps to go in stage 1, maybe flip flop for the starting position for stage 2 and start out front. My main concern right now is where is Smoke Fan because we just saw him pass. I'm assuming that was for the lead, so we definitely don't want to see him get a lap down, or that whole strategy is going to get ruined here. As we've seen him go by just in that background there. Looks like Perky puts on 2 tires and a splash of fuel and is going to get right back out there as we're going to ride back on board with Gormick here, still battling really hard for that second position. As you see it, just the wasp nest behind him. He's going to get a little help from Too Fast for You as he wants that second position as well.
Yeah, they're looking really hard at the battle for second. There's only 4 laps to go. Coming to 3 laps to go this time by in stage number 2. It looks like the 13 and the 10 car, the ones that pitted the latest, took 2 tires. Um, and have been, or we're trying to get some track position there. Jerem Gornick able to get by those guys and secure that P2 spot for now with Too Fast for You in third, Scotty B in fourth, and Bulldog gets past the 13 of Kalyn. He was running in fifth. Now he is back to sixth. Bulldog able to get up to P5 as we see 14 of Smoke getting ready to lap Trans Am Blue, put another competitor a lap down here, coming at 2 laps to go. That was 2 to go there. I'm sorry. 2 laps to go here in stage number 1. Smoke Fan, a very, very wide margin, about a quarter of a track. He could coast the rest of the way, I'm convinced. He has come out here on a mission, absolutely just wanting to show and kind of display his dominance back again. He's felt like he's kind of been in a rut the past couple weeks. I know he felt like he let that Watkins Glen Pro League race get away from him after spinning all by himself while leading, but he's going down into turn number 3. Your leader so far in stage number 1, it's going to be a no contest round. Smoke Fan able to secure the dub in stage 1 and get some serious, serious points. As we haven't seen our point leader, G Sensi, really be a factor so far tonight. Smoke Fan able to get some serious gains in the point standings. Jerem Gornick gets P2 in stage 1. Too Fast for You, P3. Scotty B, P4. Bulldog going to be P5 there. P6 is going to be Galen. P7, Go Fast Jason. Flash 9 is going to be P8. That was the last car on the lead lap, Matt. Only 8 cars on the lead lap. McMurky is going to be your lucky dog recipient here from the 9th position. Your last guy to receive points was Perky in that 10 car. So they're getting ready for some pit stops here. We're going to 47 laps in stage number 2. Perky might
47 laps.
try.
We're looking at 3 laps shorter than stage 1. So we're maybe thinking, do you think Perky can save the fuel now? That took a look at stage 1, didn't make it all the way. 3 laps less, maybe save a little bit more for this stage. But what do you think? You think this stage is going to get one on fuel strategy, or you think Smoke's just going to dominate and win it again? As we see it go green, green, green with Jerem Gormick on the outside, Smoke Fan on the inside as they single file back down into turn 1.
Yeah, I think, well, I just saw that Perky's still going to be a lap down, so he's got to do an extra lap of gas over these guys if he wanted to make the strategy play
Ooh,
work.
contact in the back as Galen got a little sideways. I think he got some help from somebody that just brushed the high lane as it sees the 3 car spin out in the infield grass, and the 13. I think we're seeing some lag from his camera, probably just a spectator glitch. But you're seeing a lot of action in the back of that pack as the top 5 cars have pretty much driven away from the field. You got to think that they got to be really, really happy about that. But look at Smoke Fan. He's just driving away as I think they may have just thrown a caution. Not
yes,
100% sure.
yes, it looks like they have thrown a caution out. That was an actual incident. I was able to see that from the in-car view. They did bring out a caution there, about a 2-3 car incident at the back of the pack. Some other guys getting slown up and involved. So now we're getting into the nitty gritty. Only 3 laps into the stage. A guy like Galen and Perky now you see him go by there, getting back on the lead lap. Now they're kind of more in that window to try to basically no stop the remainder of stage 2 here, as we're going to have 43 laps to go. 28 in the fuel cell, Matt. Saving about 15 laps ain't out of the question, but I'll say it is a little bit unorthodox depending on your pace and kind of your interpretation of how much fuel saving is realistic, I guess.
I think you're definitely right, but I got to look at it as if someone else saves that and I don't, you're looking at stage 2 and 1 car is going to get the wave around if he manages to put everyone a lap down. So it's definitely going to be really tricky. I think having to save that fuel is almost going to have to be a necessity for the rest of stage 2 if you don't want to be trapped a lap down looking into stage 3.
Well, the curious thing is, if you're a guy like Smoke Fan, if you're a guy like Jerem Gornick, if you're a guy like a Bulldog or a Scotty, you've been in the top 5 all race long, but you saw how long that 13, the 10 car, went in that first stage. Do you maybe say you try to do that same thing to basically prevent yourself from being trapped a lap down? It's going to be interesting to see if this changes the mentality for these guys as they're getting ready to go back green here. Smoke Fan, Jerem Gornick on the front row. Restart here. Green flags in the air.
Green.
Going down into turn number 1.
I
little bit
think
of a
they
delay,
might have
but
waved it off. They're trying one more time. I think they had to let Trans Am catch back up to the pack. They deceived us a little bit by the way that they were all lined up and on each other's tails.
that was perfect. That was perfect. Yes, this track is you get down the pit road actually rather quickly, surprisingly. But they had to let Trans Am get by. I believe he took the wave around. So now all 11 cars that are still out on the racetrack should be back on the lead lap. I think it might actually be 10. The 48 might not be on the lead lap. Have to check
Ooh,
on that.
what a
As a
huge jump by Smokefan there, and Bulldog as he pushes them out to an early lead. Scotty B is going to move into a solid third position as you see Go Fast Jason and JRM Gormick battling hard for fourth, but you got to think with the leaders single filed out, you really got to get by, or I think they're just going to drive away from you as we see a really, really hard battle, but Smokefan and Bulldog have pretty much owned the night, pulling away from the pack.
I'll tell you, the big loser on that restart was Jerem Gornick. He tried to time that jump, timed it a little too early, had to back off. And when Smoke saw that, he took full advantage of that on the restart. Jerem Gornick falls back to about P4, P5 now as they're single file up front here. Smoke Fan taking that Toco warranty forward just on a Sunday test drive, basically. He's been in command of this race basically since about lap 6 or 7. But now the battle getting further back in the pack. See car get high there. Now Go Fast Jason and Jared Gornick going to have to race nose to tail here. Gornick going to have to make up some serious ground to get back up to where he was in around stage 1 and get back up to the top 3 or so.
And I'm looking back in that field and I'm seeing that 21 car just drift high. He has gotten used and abused for this just beginning of the second stage. I watched him get just absolutely booted out of line and up into that outside wall a couple times. So you got to think that that driver must not be too happy. He knows he's got a really good car that could possibly contend with the leaders. And here he is, Jerem Gormick looking to the inside of Jason for that spot. But you got to think going back to Scotty that he wants to get back out front and he doesn't like to be back there.
Jaron Gornick, he's able to make the pass going into turn 3, time the run just perfect, got the run out of 2 on the back straightaway, able to get by that 32 Keen Parts Ford. Looks like, I think that's Galen right behind him, is it not? And he's looking to battle here early on in stage 2. Trying to get a little bit of a lap count here just so I kind of know where we're at in the field strategy game. I can tell you Smoke's only got 22 laps left. He's already used up 6 laps, now 7. Looks like there's 35 laps to go. So we'll be trying to keep a keen eye on that 13 and 10. We know they went the longest on that first stage. Have to see how that pans out here for the rest of the time. But we go back up front, Matt.
Oh, hard contact. Looks like the 13 got way loose off that corner and spun out, or it might just be some spectator lag. You don't know.
Not sure. It doesn't look like anybody slowed up on the racetrack from the in-car cam. I can tell on Smoke Fan from his basically his the track map. Didn't see anybody slow up there. Now I got some on the back straightaway. It looks like some extracurricular activities might have happened. Oh, and Galen spinning out there onto the inside of basically the restart zone there off of turn 4. He's having some major issues. Maybe a wheel disconnect, controller disconnect. Now he's driving through the. Oh, and he spins again.
I'm
That
very
might be lag.
confused. Looks like they're throwing a caution for Galen that spun out in the infield. I think you may be right. I think his wheel may have disconnected or something along the lines of his wheel just hooked right and had to recalibrate it. So hopefully he can get his issues fixed here for the rest of the race, and we'll see. That's a really
Only
good camera right there. I like that angle.
Yeah, that was a perfect angle there, watching him come down pit road. So early on in stage number 2, we see Kalyn still hitting the inside wall. I think he hit it at every inch of the way there on the front straightaway. So a serious issue must have happened to that 13. We'll try to follow up on what may have happened to Galen. But now they're only going to have 33 laps to go in the stage when they go back around to green flag here, Matt. That could make the saving even more interesting, and we'll see what happens. But early on, through stage number 2, just our second caution here of the evening, going as these guys are coming out of pit road. We'll get you a lineup. Still, those 2 Stuart Haas Esports teammates going to be in the front row. Jaron Gornick able to gain some positions there, get up to P number 3. That Go Fast Jason going to be P4 here on the restart. I think they might go this time. We'll see, though, if
I
they
think they're
try to.
still waiting on a couple more. I see 8 cars there. I think Kalyn
Yeah.
has managed to fix whatever issue that his wheel may have had. I think I've seen him just start to catch up there. There he is, smoking into the field. Got it woed up just in time. But I think we might be going green here next time by, as we've seen the 48 now on pit road. I hope that's not a blown motor.
Yeah, we'll have to follow up and see what might have happened to the 48. Might be
Yeah,
just becoming a race of attrition at this point. I don't think fuel's going to be much of a factor, though. So we're going to have to just watch these guys kind of race it out on speed. And if it's coming down to speed, all my bets would be on that 14 car because nobody else has shown us to have the speed and consistency that he's had all night long here. But we still got a decent chunk of ways to go at Richmond from Outlaw Racing
green,
Nation.
green, green.
Green
Smoke
flag
fan.
in the air. Smoke gets a good jump. Bulldog able to jump right behind him, though. Be nose to tail with that 14-14. Clip the apron there just a little bit on corners. Entry the four, not able to capitalize, though. Jerem Gornick able to secure P3 with Jason in P4. Now single file throughout the field. It's going to be now just the race of trying to keep it between the wall and that apron. Keeping it out of the wall on the exit of the turns. Keeping it out of the yellow line that can just suck you right in on quarter entry. That's the toughest part about this racetrack. You want to drive it into the center as hard as you can to get the best drive off, but sometimes you could do that at the sacrifice of getting that left front onto the flat banking. But Bulldog keeping pace right now these first couple laps after the restart. Bulldog's definitely got some short run speed. We'll have to see if he's fixed that loose off condition we've seen from him as it gets loose right there as we were talking about it. Now the 88 trying to get up there and battle these two Stewart-Haas Esports teammates. But, man, they figured something out here. They got a little bit of a command over the rest of the field when it's come to Richmond so far.
Oh, definitely. Smoke Fan and Bulldog have definitely been the class of the field all night. But something I noticed is it was definitely a closer restart. Now, as you've seen Smoke Fan and Bulldog not able to pull away from JRM Gormick as he sits in that third position with Go Fast and Too Fast for You very, very close behind.
Yep, that's going to be a good battle there between these top four. They've kind of been the four horsemen, if you will, of the race. That along with Scotty B has been up there. Just haven't seen him up there in the last couple laps or so. But as they go down single file through turns 3 and 4, still nose to tail this entire field. But they're starting to get a little separation from Jerem Gornick in third there. Now he runs a little bit high in 1 and 2. It's kind of
Oh,
timing
Jason
it
made
off.
some significant contact with the wall there coming off of two. I think that's going to allow Too Fast for You to get around him on the outside. It looks like he may be still side by side, but that's definitely not what you want to see. You could visibly see just on that corner how much ground they lost. As I think now this has turned into a 3-car battle here. But it looks to
Yeah,
me, just from looking at the camera, it looks like Beast of Asgard is just a little bit tight on the short runs, but it really comes to him on the long runs. I'm noticing him take a little bit higher of an arc throughout the corner, and I'm watching him at the end of the runs, taking it a little bit lower than the other drivers. So maybe a little bit flip flop on the setup, and maybe he can make something happen. But still, Bulldog, Smoke Fan, but in the class of the field is their nose to tail coming off of turn 4.
Yeah, they're battling very hard here for the lead in Outlaw Racing from Richmond. Bulldog really charging the front half of the corner, losing on the exit to Smoke Fan. Smoke Fan kind of backing up his corner entries, kind of letting it float off into the center there, and then able to gas it off a little bit easier because the nose is already planted towards the bottom of the racetrack. Kind of Smoke and Beast Asgard have a little bit of the same line, whereas the 4-car likes to really charge the front half of the turn. Just kind of interesting to see how many different ways you could tackle this racetrack. No one way is necessarily better than the other. It's going to really depend on the car setup and driver preference, of course. But as we've seen kind of in the long run, tends to favor that driving style, the 14 and the 88, backing off the front half of the turn, letting it roll down to the bottom, and then easily getting on the gas there to prevent that loose off condition. So you see Bulldog really starting to have to chase that for Mustang off the turn, especially off of turn 2. That's allowing Beast Asgard to really get and close up to him as they cross the start finish line there. Get you a lap count here. Should be about 24 to go. Going to be even less than that. 19 to go. I'm not a betting man right now, but 19 laps to go. Nothing about fuel and tires. These guys are just going to have to battle it out to the end, and we'll have to see if the 4 car is maybe able to get out in front and kind of control pace, or if the 14 and the 88 can capitalize on that longer run
Ooh, some
speed.
more significant contact with Jason as you've seen him get loose off of that corner. Sorry to interrupt you, Tyler. But like I said before, I see Beast of Asgard. He took out all of that time, and he is now right with the leaders. I think he's got a really, really solid long run car. I think even better than the two leaders. I think if he can get around, I think he's definitely got the stage 2 in the bag. But now with the long run just starting, we're going to see where it goes.
Yeah, and I'm watching for the in-car cam. Smoke's been kind enough to provide us with a little webcam service too. I'm watching him just wheel it off of turn 4 every time, man. He's got that wheel cocked to the right about half the time. Once he gets back on the throttle, you see him really just wheeling and dealing. And that's the thing about Richmond. It gets so slick. It's like the rear tires just really lose grip a lot faster than the front tires, and they just start slipping and sliding around. It really makes it hard to, once you commit to going back to the throttle, to be able to commit 100%. Sometimes you have to feather it and bobble with it a little bit, but we're seeing that even from our leader, who's kind of been the class of the field so far. He hasn't been able to break away this run like he was able to in stage number 1. They're coming at about 16 laps to go, getting to the nitty gritty of stage number 2. Smoke Fan, who was your stage 1 winner, still getting battled hard as the 4 car gets a little loose in the middle of the straightaway. That's something that can also happen at this racetrack too. The 4 car Bulldog getting a little loose there, but Jerem Gornick able to keep up with these guys. It's a fantastic 3 car battle. They're just going to have to kind of wait for Smoke to either make a mistake or just get a little loose off of one of these turns and then try to basically capitalize and get to that bottom and take the bottom away from the 14, because if that 14's on the bottom, there's no getting past him.
Most definitely. One thing, the big thing I noticed is you've seen Gormick just barely brush the wall there, is earlier in the race, stage 1, Bulldog was getting really, really loose off the corners, and I mentioned about him getting onto pit road and throwing some wedge into it. I'm looking at him now as he's right on the back bumper of Smoke Fan, that he's not getting as loose off of the corners as he was in stage 1, and I think that has allowed him to just get that little bit better of a car to maybe to get around Smoke Fan if he makes a mistake here. But so far, I haven't seen that 14 make a single mistake as you've seen the 4 ride in line. So I think as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, he's got this as he is looking, but I don't think he's going to be finding anything.
Peeking, but lurking in the background about 2 to 3 car lengths back is still that 88 of Jerem Gornick to make this a fantastic 3-car battle through the remainder of stage number 2 here. I'll tell you, while Smoke hasn't made any mistakes, he certainly hasn't been as perfect as he was in that first stage. He's still allowed these guys to be right behind him the entire run. And especially with the no fuel and tires being an issue here on this sprint to the finish, I really expected that 14 to kind of break away, but he's basically been keeping these guys in limbo with him as they cross the start-finish line there. Should be about 15 laps to go in the stage. It's gonna, or 9 laps to go. Oh my goodness, they're just clicking off laps faster than I can even keep track. 9 laps to go here. Coming to 8 laps to go this time in stage number 2. Bulldog right there, but Gornick able to just close the gap on them. I think now we're seeing the kind of the best part of the run for that 88. If he could get by the 4, I think he might have something to say to that 14 about who's winning the stage.
And I think you're definitely right as he looks to the outside and now looks to the inside. I think Bulldog's now finally starting to get loose, but they're battling side by side, and that's just going to allow Smoke Fan to just pull away even more. But you can definitely see, as I think that was 7 laps to go now, the intensity is definitely cranking up. Everybody wants to go to the front.
You need to get to the front because you want that track position. I think in stage 3, if you start stage 3 and you're letting that 14 be on the front row in the command position on the restart, he's just going to do this to you. He's going to kind of keep you, kind of tease you a little bit, make you think you got a chance, but then he's just going to start driving away, as we're seeing that from the 4 car and the 88 battling. Gornick dives it down into turn number 1, trying to get that 4 car off the groove. He does successfully do that. Move Jerem Gornick to P2. Now Bulldog back to P3. Only going to have about 6 laps to try and do something here. Maybe 5 laps to even try to get to him. It's going to be crazy. The 88 is closing.
Oh, he brushed the wall on that one.
Yeah, you see
But
it
he's
there. He just
definitely closing. Like I said, he's got a really good long run car. I just don't know if he has the amount of lapses. I think he's just driving the ever living hell out of it right now, as you've seen him get ever so close to the wall and dive it down pretty hard. But I think that was 2 laps to go, am I right? So I just
uh
think he's going to run out of time.
I think it's going to be 3 to go here. I'm just going to
3 to go.
exclusively basically follow along with Bulldog and just kind of give you lap counts here so we can keep up. He's looking in that mirror. He sees and he knows the 88 is coming. He sees that red and gold Exalta 88 trying to come and make battle. 3 to go. He just crossed by there. So coming to 2 to go this time. They're still closing in. Not quite there, but he's definitely making him peek in his mirror. And maybe if Smoke peeks in the mirror at the wrong time, he might overdrive the turn here, man, as we're coming ready to go to 2 to go.
2 to go. Beast of Asgard right on Smoke's bumpers. He's really just trying to whittle it down. Bulldog has fallen off of the top two just a little bit, but still a very valiant effort to get up there and pretty much dominate most of the race. He's still got one more stage to go as we near the white flag. Now as Beast of Asgard sends it in on Smokefan. What a great send there. Really clean. Didn't move him, but I think he might try the exact same thing in 3 and 4. I don't know if it will be as clean as he sends it in there hard. It's not going to be enough. Smokefan coming off turn number 4 is going to take the checkered flag for stage 2.
Yeah, a very good and valiant effort by that 88, maybe sizing things up for the final laps of the money stage, stage 3 when it counts. Jerem Gornick, P2 there. Bulldog, P3. Too fast for you. And P4, P5 going to go to Jason. Nice recovery for him after getting in the wall there a couple of times early on in stage number 2. That's your top 5 for the stage. P6 was Galen. P7, Scotty. P9 or P8 is going to be Flash 9, Trans Am Blue, who got the lucky dog on that last caution. P9 there. Perky, P10. We are down to 10 competitors now as McMurky in the 48, Chiza, and Dagger have all had mechanical virtual blown motors. So we got just 10 cars to battle it out here in the final stage 3. Matt, nobody's proved to me that they can beat that 14. I think he's sitting in the catbird seat here to maybe get his first victory of the season.
I think you're right. If you look at my overlay, you can see the stage 1 winner and stage 2 winner is all the same person. Smokefan in that number 14, as I find him again here. Just absolutely a dominant performance tonight at Richmond. But Beast of Asgard right now, highest he's ever been on the restart. Second place is Bulldog. Is the furthest he's been back on the restart. Third. So we're going to see if Beast of Asgard can track down Smoke and possibly make a move here, as we're now in for the longest stage of the night.
Yeah, we are in for that. It's going to be, about 96 laps or so, Matt. So there's going to be plenty of opportunity for some pit stops, plenty of opportunity for mistakes. Jerem Gornick, you said it. He's starting the highest he has all race long on a restart. If he doesn't have to contend with the 4 and the 22 and is able to just ride behind the 14, kind of save his tires a little bit extra, he might be able to take advantage once we get into the late half of an early tire run here. Maybe try to get out and kind of plant the flag and set the pace for the rest of the race. But right now, Smoke able to just break away ever so slightly, about 2 to 3 car lengths he's dealing with. Really noticing.
Ooh!
Oh, Gornick plows the wall there. He tried to get to the throttle a little bit too quick. That's going to stack up the field behind him. It's too fast for you now. Going to move past him. Gornick going to fall back, but Smoke Fan is just licking his chops as he is pulling away from the rest of the field, heading down it through 3 and 4.
Most definitely, Smokefan has pulled away to a significant lead after Beast of Asgard. But I got to give a huge shout out to a driver that I don't think we've spoken enough of so far this year. Too fast for you in that 22. Really didn't know much about him before tonight, but has fired off very, very strong as he's been in really the second and third position most of the race. As you see him now in the catbird seat, if Smoke makes a mistake. But you got to think right now with Bulldog behind, Bulldog knows he's got a fantastic short run car, so he knows that he wants to get back to the front here as you see him side by side for second place.
Yeah, side by side, the 22 just going to leave it to a no contest there. Let the 4 car go on by. Beast of Asgard gets it gathered back up, is able to get back up to P3. And that's kind of been the thing for the 22. He's just had an uneventful night. I think that's just what he needs, exactly what he needs. He knows he's got a fast car. Let's not put ourselves or others in a precarious position that's going to cost us a good finish here tonight. As you see Bulldog digging, getting close to that apron, flirting with it. Beast Asgard able to close in, and Jason still right there in the thick of it in P number 4 as they go through 1 and 2. But Smoke Fans just able to still continue to edge these guys out. As we have 90 to go, they're going to be coming to 89 to go. Still a long way to go in the race.
And
The
what a
Smoke Fan pulling
fantastic
away.
recovery from Jason and Kalyn. We've seen him have some wheel issues earlier in stage 2. And I think you said he hit pretty much all of the inside wall there. But some fantastic recoveries for both the drivers as you see him sitting respectively in 4th and 6th position. As we really see one line from I think Bulldog's in 2nd. One line from 2nd all the way until the back of the pack is that no one's really fallen off at all. But I think all the spotlight right now is on that 14 as he's just pulled away. As you see Bulldog get really loose off that corner and let Beast of Asgard by. He's going to
He
deliver the
boots him.
favor right back. That's just going to allow Smoke Fan to just pull away ever so more. And if you're a Smoke Fan, you got to love this, as I think Beast of Asgard is not too happy, as you've seen him go back for the 4. But I think if they want any chance of trying to catch Smoke, they just got to slow it down, try to work together, but I don't know if that's possible.
If you're Smoke, you're loving it. If you're Beast, you're pissed off. The 4 car sent it in on Beast of Asgard there. Not sure if Beast had any role to play in the 4 car getting loose in the middle of the straightaway. Might have been by the telltale sign we saw going into 3 and 4, but those guys duking it out. It's just letting that 14 just stretch his legs and have a martini in hand. It is no contest for first. The battle is for P2, P3, and P4. Fantastic battling by some Pro League guys. You know, Bulldog races very, very aggressively, very hard. You and I both know that from over on the Xbox side. I tell you what, if you leave any inch of daylight down there on the bottom, he's going for it, and he did there on the 88. That's second time we saw that Beast get into the wall there. He's just going to have to gather it back up, try to get back up front. He's got a strong car. As Kalyn now, we see him trying to send it on Jason, trying to get back up into the top 5 there, battling with him. Jason going to drop back to P6 now as he gives that up to the 22 and the 13. Here's Beast looking to the inside of Bulldog, roughing them up on the left rear quarter a little bit. They might be side by side. Coming down through the back straightaway. Bulldog caught the wall again. Middle of the backstretch there. I think that time he had a little help from the 88. So I think the score might be 2-1 in Bulldog's eye, but from what we've seen, it's been 1-1. Bulldog Beast Asgard on the beating and banging contest. They're going to settle down as Beast is finally able to pull away. Now the 4 car falling into the clutches of the 13, the 22. They peaked 3 wide for a second. 22 at too fast for you, going to take the aggressive approach, try to get by the 13 of Kalyn, because I think he sees a wounded gazelle in that 4 car that could propel him up to the top 3.
Yeah, definitely something I really didn't expect for stage 3 is Bulldog falling back. A really competitive car. You've seen him with Smoke for pretty much all of stage 1 and all of stage 2. We've never seen him back this far, and so far he's just been struggling a little bit as you see him with a couple fast drivers behind him trying to get by now as Beast of Asgard has driven away in hopes of reeling Smoke Fan back in.
Well, I'll tell you, he can hope and hope all he wants, but it's going to be a tough task to do. You wonder if all that contact with the wall for the 4 car might have resulted in some damages for that 4 car. Maybe the car's a little bit tight. Once you get some door damage there, it's really hard to kind of regain your form and composure as we see the 13 of Kalyn now getting back under the 22. 32 Jason trying to peek to the outside wall and try to get by both those guys. He's going to fall in line, try to get by the 22 on the inside. Smoke Fans still able to keep a sizable margin, about don't want to say about 2.5 seconds or so, maybe closer to 2 seconds there over Beast Asgard. Jerem Gornick, who is in second. They've got, let's see, Matt, I think they're going to have about 77 laps to go this time by. when he crossed the start-finish line, coming to 76 laps to go. Still a long ways away from home. But that
Long
is
ways indeed, as we're definitely going to see a couple green flag pit stops if this goes green. But what a fantastic battle back here in the pack, all shuffling around. Definitely no lack of excitement here in the Outlaw Nation.
no, none at all. And that's why I was so excited to see these guys on a short track, a driver's track, no draft. You're just kind of out there. You got what you got with the car setup. Go out there and drive it as best you can. Damage or no damage, short run, long run. You got to go out there and just maximize the times as best you can. And we're seeing that here tonight. It's really just been a commanding performance by Smoke Fan, the NASCAR Heat Pro League PlayStation champion, just kind of putting just putting it to him. There's no other way to say it. He's just putting it to him. But if there's anybody up for the challenge, it certainly is Jerem Gornick, Beast Asgard. I call him a wheelman because he is a wheelman. He's one of the few guys that before the Pro League, for the showcases, that dude raced a wheel at road courses, short tracks where it's been known that controllers sometimes have the advantage. I tell you what, I'm always just impressed with his just raw talent and speed, his ability to drive a car. Shout outs to him for helping me get the wheel calibrated over on the Xbox side. He's definitely been a help to me getting up to speed on the wheel. Jerem Gornick, certainly a very fast driver, and we're seeing it tonight as he's had a very, very breakout performance. Oh, it's the 13 of Kalyn. Gets into the 4 car again. That 4 car isn't going to have a left rear fender after this race, I'm thinking here,
Oh,
Matt.
I don't know if that 4 car is going to have any fender. I think he's punted and has punted. So, fantastic run so far for Bulldog, but we were seeing in stage 3 him just slip back. That makes hard contact again with the outside wall. That makes me think with him dropping back like this is definitely not like Bulldog. Do you think he might be trying to save some fuel, or do you think his car is just finally giving up the ghost and has had one too many contacts with the outside wall here as we've seen him drop back to, I believe, that 7th place behind Go Fast Jason. But your pick, Scotty B, has made his way back up into this hard battle for 2nd place as we see him right there, actually, catching Bulldog now and trying to reel in the leaders as you see the 88 far out.
Yeah, Scotty B was doing great in stage 1, had a very quiet stage 2, trying to just gather it back up. We see a car get loose there. I think that was Jason, might have been signaling for pit road, or he just got really loose. I think he just got really loose because here comes the 4 car Bulldog back to him. I tell you, Matt, I don't think he's saving in that 4 car. I think he's just had about maybe 3 or 4 more contacts with the wall than you really want to have. A lot of them being very, very hard contacts to that outside wall. That's just going to mess up the aerodynamics. And on this game, that is the worst thing you could ever ask for. It's just going to tighten that car up so much to where it's almost undrivable. You just got to basically coast through the center of the turn. Oh, as we see him,
He's going to give him a big shove in that corner.
he sends the 32. I'm not sure why. Maybe a little bit of payback. Looked like a little bit of lag. Definitely a little bit of anger we're seeing for the 4 cars. The 32 sends him back. It's a send it contest. Who's going to send it more? Bulldog gets in the outside wall, tries to block the 21, not able to do so. 21 now to the inside, just trying to survive and get around. 4 car Bulldog just dropping ever so much. After a couple wall contests, couple car contacts, man, I feel like everything's hit that poor 4 car. It's just going to be a conglomerate of paint schemes and white wall after this one's done. Side by side here, the 21 and the 32. This is the battle for P7. There aren't any other battles right now as Scotty gets the apron.
Bumped the apron going into that corner.
He pushes
Jason
up.
brushes the wall coming out of it as well. But
Jason,
go for it.
Pit stops are starting here. I see the 22 heading down pit road, and I saw the 4 and the 32 get side by side. I didn't know, Matt, if we'd see any more contact.
Here, let's see if I can find that camera that I really liked on pit road. There we go. There's the 22 heading down pit road. Looks like the sole pit road driver right now. Too fast for you. You got to think maybe he's trying to overlap as we see 88, Smoke Fan, and Kalyn all make their way down pit road.
Yeah, they're making their way down pit road, and I think Smoke Fan is also on pit road. We actually had a change for the lead, Matt, while we were away. Jerem Gornick was able to get the lead while we were captivated by that battle between Go Fast
Fantastic job
Jason.
for Gornick. I didn't think anybody had anything for Smoke, but it looks like they proved me wrong, and Gornick has managed, I guess, to get around him.
He got around him and he did very well. We'll have to see how the pit stops shake out. They're shaking in their pit stalls. They're getting ready to get those left sides on. I
Uh-oh.
think we had a speeding penalty.
Oh, no.
That
I
might have
think you're
been
right.
why. That might have been why he was able to get to the lead. The 88 got caught by the speeding police on a pit road entry, drop him a long 15 seconds back from
Oh, and you
Smoke
hate to
Fan.
see that as well. You told me that he caught the leader and passed him. If you're a Smoke fan, you just gotta absolutely love that, but you gotta feel bad because now you got nobody to battle. But I think with that mistake, that's going to leave clear skies for the Stewart Haas Gaming driver and the eNASCAR Heat Champion. He brushes the wall. The eNASCAR Heat Champion, just clear skies, just finish up this race. Hate it for
Yeah,
Jason. Or sorry, hate
he
it for Beast of Asgard.
yeah, he's going to be having a big hole to try and dig out of as the 4 car of Bulldog is actually still your race leader. Matt, maybe all that wall hitting saved some gas, saved some tire. I don't know what it's done, but he's still out there leading this race, getting ready to
As he
come
comes in
down
this
pit
time.
road. Interesting to see. I'm trying to get how many laps there are to go. I think 41, maybe 40. Now Jason is going to inherit the lead, Matt, as he's yet to make his pit stop. So now we're starting to see maybe that pit road kind of strategy start to take place. There's actually 60 laps to go, right? Yeah, I
60,
think so.
so still a long ways to go. I think we're going to see a lot of strategy here for number 2. But you said what? Pit window was 21 with a possible
Pit
stretch to 30, and you said stage 3 was
pit.
92 laps. So I'm just trying to do this calculation in my head.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Do you
do it as
think
well.
we're
The
gonna
the pit
have
window
a
the pit
2
window is
versus 3
31.
stop for the final stage?
I think the pit window is 31, and I think it is going to be a 2 versus maybe a 3 stopper here. Uh, Jason has a lap over Smoke Fan here, just trying to gauge back where I'm at. Smoke just crossed for 58 to go, so that means Jason's at 57 to go. Not sure what his goal here is, what he's trying to accomplish. I would have to imagine he's maybe trying to go for, I don't know, maybe trying to get to about 50 to go here, maybe split it up and kind of secure himself in one more stop. It's going to be really tough to
Maybe.
kind of
I'm
tell where
thinking
these
you
guys
gotta
are.
really save hard if you're gonna attempt to do that. And I just really haven't seen Jason really save hard enough to try to maybe go 50 laps on a tank there, and I don't really know if it's possible. But definitely getting some good TV team up front for Jason and that Keen Parts Mustang over Smoke. But I guess we'll figure out what his strategy is shortly as he just now finally makes his way onto pit road, and you see Smoke pass by right there.
Yeah, he's going to cross for pit road here. It's going to be 54 laps to go for him when he crosses the line as they're going down on a pit road for that 32 team. That's going to change our lead here. It's going to go to the 31 of Flash 9. He's now our
Ooh,
race leader. He has yet to pit. He's still out there now trying to do a little bit of strategy maneuver as he goes around. We see him. He's coming to about 53 to go. Should be maybe even 52 here. 53 that time by for him. So interesting maneuver from the drivers of the 32 and the 31 to
yeah,
see what.
very interesting maneuvers going into the final stage. I don't know, man, it's mind-boggling even for me, and I like to try to save fuel. I think they got something thought of. I just think that we haven't figured it out yet, and that's a good thing because if we haven't figured it out, that means the leaders probably haven't figured it out yet as well, and we might see an upset. We might see the 32 or Flash 9 possibly steal a win out from under Smoke's dominated performance tonight.
They might. It'll be really hard because the pace by that 14 is just pretty incredible, to be honest with you. He's only 3/4 of a lap behind passing the 31 since pit stops. Now, you expect since Flash 9 is still out there, he'd be able to kind of keep that gap even, maybe even close in on Smoke Fan until Smoke makes his second pit stop. But it's going to be really tight and interesting to see. Is the Flash 9 is crossed for 50 to go. So 50 laps in the race. He made it to that magic mark I was thinking of, Matt. So we'll see kind of what's going through his head, what might be going through Smoke's head. Smoke
And I
went.
think you two have figured something out because he's pitting right when you said 50 to go. You're kind of cutting in and out. I don't know if you're on your A50s and walking through the house, but hearing a little bit of an audio issue, as I think that's going to cycle the lead back to Smoke Fan. If you'd like to confirm on that, as the 31 hits pit road.
Yes, with the 31 hitting pit road, that's going to give the lead back to the number 14 car as he crosses by here. He's going to be your race leader with 49 laps to go. Definitely one more pit stop for Smoke, maybe two. That's where the math is starting to like fry my brain here, Matt, because the pit window's 31 laps. I wasn't keeping track of how many laps Smoke went, but when he pitted, Matt, his tires were pretty well used up. So
Mhm.
we'll really have to see what happens here, man.
Yeah, this is almost to the point of where I just want to be in the race, and I have a little window that tells me how many laps of fuel, and I could gauge what the other drivers are doing because I'm just absolutely loving to see this strategy playing out. I just wish I knew how they were doing it.
Right as Smoke crosses for 47 to go, coming to 46 to go. He's getting ready to lap the 10 car of Perky Trans Am Blue in front of him. No real battles on the racetrack. Everybody is spread out pretty even Steven. They're all about, I want to say everybody's about 5 to 6 car lengths away from their closest competitor. Looks like Kalyn is still in second place, so great recovery by him. Able to capitalize on Beast getting that speeding penalty. The 13 is going to be your P2 man right now. Scotty B is actually going to be in P3, Matt. So honestly, these guys in second and third, they haven't had, outrageous evenings. They've been keeping quiet and just able to capitalize on other guys' mistakes.
Well said, Tyler. Very well said. Just some fantastic nights for Galen and Scotty pretty much. Mid pack most of the race, but like I always say, and in my pro league races, consistency counts. You're seeing them up there in P2 and P3, and pretty much just clicking off laps now with no real pressure from behind. And you got to think that they got to feel fantastic about this if the strategy plays out in their favor.
Yeah, they're going to be really kind of looking at a very good finish here, regardless. They're really sitting pretty. Got to take a peek at the top five. Looks like Bulldogs in P4. Jerem Gornick still in P5 after that speeding penalty, Matt. He's still only 16 seconds behind Smoke there. So after having that penalty of 15 seconds, Gornick's got to be kind of beating himself a little bit for getting that speeding penalty. He was so close on speed to the 14, probably the closest competitor we've seen on speed throughout a whole run. And he's been able to keep really good pace with that 14 car this entire run. Hasn't lost any time, truth be told. So you wonder what could have been for that 88, but it's going to turn for what could have been for him to kind of what will be for the 13 and the 21 as they're looking at very good days here as we're clicking off laps, getting ready to come to 40 to go this time once Smoke crosses the line. As you see there from that cam, perfect camera with the 3 car being there. Everybody's just spread out. There's really no battles to be had as we're just kind of getting to enjoy an old-fashioned cranker up here at Richmond. We'll kind of let the engine sounds just kind of do the talking for us until a battle kind of heats up, or we got some reports from pit road to kind of spice things up for y'all a little bit. Let's
Oh,
just enjoy
definitely.
the
Interesting
hard mode.
camera angle I found here. I don't know how I found it, but I've been finding some good camera angles. Tyler, can you do a quick check on the stream right now? I'm not getting any game audio through my headset, but I'm hoping it's been through the stream. If not, they're just going to have to enjoy our beautiful voices doing commentation over the race.
They might have to. I'll just wait and see if I can hear any engine noises. I don't hear any engine noises, Matt, so they're it's pretty.
No engine noises. Huh, that's interesting. Um, let's see here.
We can't do a crank it up, but I'll tell you what. Um, the 13 of Galen is actually keeping pretty good pace with Smoke Fan right now. about 3.5, 4 seconds behind him. He's not getting close enough to kind of, I don't know, I guess you would say trigger Smoke to have to work harder for it, but Smoke's not really pulled away as much as I would have expected. The 21 Scotty able to just keep great pace. There goes Too Fast for You, able to get by Bulldog there, have a good run. As we see the biggest gap there from those guys in in third and fourth, back to fifth place. Jerem Gornick, who's that speeding penalties just kind of cost him any chance at a win, but still might be able to recover and get a top 5 finish, pending any strategies that we're going to see here in the waning laps. 35 to go, Matt. So we're closing in on what could be a pit stop here very shortly.
Most definitely here. I'm trying to get some audio for you guys. I just noticed now that I wasn't getting anything. Of course, everything can't go perfect for us. Got to have at least one issue if we're doing a broadcast. But fantastic race so far. Really spread out now, but Smoke fan, just an overall really dominant performance throughout the night.
And I've seen that Smoke fan tire light come on. So I'm expecting that 14 to come down pit road here pretty soon, Matt. If you want to get to our leader, there's 33 to go. 33 to go, it looks like. We're still going to have some pit stops here for all the leaders. At least one more set for these guys. Might be really close if Smoke has to pit here in the next lap or two. Might be really close. He might have to save us a little bit. 32 laps to go. He just crossed there. He's coming to 31. Expect him in this time by. There he is, coming down pit road. Tire light was screaming, saying, please put 4 new Goodyear Eagles on me. We're blistering pace out there, bud, but you're burning the rubber off. So he comes down, heads down pit road, nice and easy. Probably no speeding penalty there. He is a good veteran of that. Rarely do you ever see Smoke fan get a speeding penalty going down to pit road. 34 laps in the tank as far as the fuel cell, Matt. 32 laps to go, 31 here, but that 14 is just burning up the tires quicker than the fuel. It might come down to a tire game.
I think you may be right. I think it might come down to a tire game, just like you're saying. But I think if you got a lead as big as Smoke Fan does, you can just back the pace off a little bit. But you got to think, you said Jerem Gormick was still on pace. I think Gormick has made his way up to fourth, third now, or maybe even see one of these guys pull some absolutely insane strategies. You've seen Smoke Fan exit right there. But we might see some flip-flops. I'm still working on the audio. I have no clue why the game audio just doesn't want to work today.
It's all right, but we've had a swap for position. Kalyn was actually the first of our leaders to come down pit road. He was able to actually get in front of Smoke there. He's got a half-second lead over Smoke as they came down pit road, but Smoke is easily closing that gap now, taking advantage of his fresh tires. This is your battle for 5th and 6th on the racetrack as we've had 4 competitors stay out. The 31 that they're closing in on, that's going to be the next battle for position. He's still a good chunk ahead there. Gornick was able to knock off about 1.5 seconds on that pit stop cycle, Matt. So Gornick's got a good car. He needs a caution, though, to get back up into race contention. Too Fast for You is currently in 7th place. Gornick is in 8th place as your leader is Bulldog in the 4 car right now. So he's kind of, we know he's about to make his last stop of the night whenever he does pit, as we see Smoke able to quickly dispose of that 13 and become the leader of the cars that have pitted thus far.
Definitely a great run for Kalyn, as I think he just made a move for the lead here, if you were telling me correctly. But want to move by Kalyn to really get up there with Smoke Fan and really contend for that win. Still really on the back bumper. We're really just gonna see how this plays out. But let's see if we can find Bulldog here, as you've seen him get really loose. I think he's blowing it down for pit road this time by. Who's that gonna leave out in front?
That should surrender the lead to Go Fast Jason in the 32. Flash 9 is also still out on the racetrack. These 2 guys have yet to make what's going to be their final pit stops. We know Bulldog's going to be good to go. There's about 24, 25 laps to go here for those guys. So we know they're well within their tire and fuel window. Smoke is going to be tough because he's at that 32 marker when he pitted 31 laps to go. Kalyn, even tougher because I think he pitted with about 33 to go. He was the first of the leaders to come down pit road. So a lot of varying strategies and times of coming in for pit stops. Most importantly, the tires. The 32 at Go Fast Jason still got a 15-second lead over Smoke Fan, but he's got to make at least one more pit stop. So he's really gonna be able to go there on low fuel at least whenever he does choose to pit here. Not gonna be able to really pull any unique strategy like two tires or anything. I think it's too far of a run to the finish to be able to pull something like that off. But who knows what could happen if Jason can, pull a lighter fuel cell load out there and maybe Smoke has to back off the pace. Maybe Jason can get back in front of him, but it's gonna be really tough to see. I think that 14 is kind of sitting in the catbird seat though, because when you get the fastest car, you just got to really have everything else lined into place for you.
Yeah, I really agree. But one thing I've really noticed about Jason is him really, really, really backing off the pace here. I think he's definitely trying to one-stop stage two. I don't know if it's going to be a winning strategy, but I think it might gain him a couple seconds. But it's definitely a good strategy and a very valiant effort as a car who really didn't see much at the front today. Really make a shot at trying to make it all the way. As he's seen Bulldog give him a shot in the corner. I think that might be payback. I think Bulldog's going to get the last laugh on that one. But is Jason still leading, or did we get
Yeah.
Smoke back in the lead now?
No, Jason is still leading. He's only got about 9 seconds or so there on the lead. Looked like Bulldog was actually get by clean there. I think Jason just has kind of lowered the pace down so much, just kind of just letting the car just coast in and slide.
Well,
Going
then I
for
apologize to Bulldog on that one.
a one stopper is very extreme to do. He'd have to go 50 laps. I just don't know if it's there to be able to do it. Smoke is already within about 8 seconds of Jason here as they're coming down. They're less than 20 to go. They're only at 18 to go that time by when Jason crossed the line. Coming to 17, it's going to be tough to tell. I mean, the biggest thing is going to be, does Smoke have to make another pit stop based on his pace, or is he going to be able to back it down and maybe save those tires so he doesn't have to make that additional stop? That'll be kind of the key barometer here we're going to be tuning into as we see a 88 Agornic closing in on Jason there to just try and get one of his lap back. He is now back on the lead lap as Jason goes high there, kind of just coasts on by, lets him by.
And I think you're
Still,
right. I think that's probably the biggest thing and the biggest factor yet to be revealed in this race is if Smoke has to go down pit road one more time, I don't think everybody else will. So I really got to think that Smoke Fan's just backing off the pace a little bit, trying to save some fuel, trying to save his tires. I think that's why Gormick may have caught him at the end of that first run. And I think he's really got to save a little bit, or that could be the deciding factor on who wins and who doesn't.
yeah, they're coming to 15 laps or they crossed for 15 laps to go. You'll see that 14 getting really close in the mirror of the two of Jason. That is going to be your battle for the lead here. Is Jason still coasting on by, letting the two Trans Am Blue get one of his laps back now. So side by side on the front, Straightaway Smoke Fan right behind him, though. You see him there. Gap's only about 2.5 seconds, and Smoke is coming quick. He's going to pass him here in the next lap and a half or so. It's going to be no contest once the 14 gets to that 32. 14 laps to go. Coming to 13 laps to go. We've clicked off 90 green flag laps so far in this stage. They're coming down to the nitty gritty of stage number 3. Smoke Fan swept the first two, and I think he's looking to make it the hat trick tonight at Richmond. You see him there in the mirror, in the tire tracks of the 32, going to quickly dispose of him. He goes to the bottom here, able to clear him with absolute ease.
Just a
Goes right
dominating
by him.
performance tonight from Smoke Fan. And with Smoke Fan passing Jason for the lead there on old tires, it makes me think of last week at Atlanta where Smoke Fan tried this strategy and Jason passed him on the final lap to take home the win at Atlanta. You got to think Smoke Fan's got to love it now, sitting in the catbird seat with just a handful of laps to go.
Yep, 11 to go, coming to 10 to go this time. It's Smoke Fan just in domination right now, leading over the 13 of Kalyn, who was able to get P2 there. from the 32. 32
As we
now, we're
see the
seeing him
32 now concedes and heads down pit road.
just 10 laps shy of being able to pull a miracle here at Richmond. Go back and follow along with Smoke Fan, who is your leader by a healthy margin, coming to 9 laps to go here. This time by 9 laps to go here. We're into the single digits at Richmond. It's been some great racing. Only 2 cautions for these guys. Absolutely fantastic job. Only a couple ruffled feathers for everybody. Lots of mistakes abound, though, from some of the serious contenders. But Smoke Fan has been able to keep that nose, door, and tail clean and just kind of put on a dominating performance. Oh, as we see some grass getting kicked up there. Somebody was doing
Oh, I
some
think Jason
landscaping.
spun out. I seen a 32 car spun backwards on pit road. Definitely not the ending that he wanted for his night. But like you said, just really a flawless night for Smoke Fan. I think we called it beforehand where Smoke said he really, really loves short tracks in Richmond and really just getting away from the draft and the random chance. But as we seen, Smoke is no joke as he takes home stage 1, stage 2, and right now with single digits left, on his way to the first win this season.
Yeah, he's coming to 6 to go this time by. He's catching up to, I believe that's the 2, Trans Am Blue, to try and put him a lap down. Doesn't really have to, but Galen's kind of kept the gap with him. Galen's right there. Really interesting. Galen has kind of closed in on him the last couple laps I've been looking. Smoke's kind of backing off his pace, really trying to save his tires. So they're coming to 5 to go here. Haven't seen the tire light pop off yet, so I think Smoke might be safe, but he's got to make quick work of this lap car. Galen's going to be all over him trying to capitalize. Feel kind of bad, Matt. We're almost cashing the check before it even clears the bank here. But Galen's still in the thick of this and right behind Smoke Fan as they're coming out of 4 to go this time.
And what a fantastic effort from Galen coming back all the way. I think he started in the back of the pack in stage 3. What a fantastic effort for him to make his way all the way up and really contest for this lead. I never would have thought it would have been possible to start that far back for stage 3, but just what a fantastic effort, really. Him just making his way up through the field and really capitalizing right now on Smoke Fan. As I think
Yeah,
now we just crossed for 3 to go.
3 to go here at Richmond for Outlaw Racing Nation on a Saturday night short track style. Smoke getting a little wiggly off turn 2. Galen able to close the gap. He's now down to 3 car lengths. He's looking, he's peeking. They're coming to the popsicle sticks in the air this time by. One mistake from that 14, and the 13 is ready to pounce. He's closing in just about a car length and a half. That 14 is fighting a loose condition, it definitely looks like, but he's able to get the power down off turn 2, clear him by a little bit, going into 3 and 4, coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go. It's the 14 of Smoke Fan leading the 13 of Galen. Who's going to get their first win here in the Outlaw Racing League in this early season? So far, 3 races in. Smoke Fan commanding performance tonight. The 13 barrels it in there, but to no avail. Smoke puts the power down, and off of turn number 4, Smoke Fan able to get his first victory of the season in the Outlaw Racing League. Galen comes home P2. Bulldog P3. P4 is going to go to Too Fast For You. Flash 9 was able to get P5. Good run for Flash 9. Able to capitalize on that. Jerem Gornick, P6. And Scotty gets P7. That's the final finishing order that I could grab. We could probably figure out the rest from there. But man, oh man, what a performance. Perky was able to get P8. Trans Am Blue P9. Go Fast Jason, P10.
What a
Wow.
fantastic run there at the end. After, what did you say, 92 long laps, it all came down to just a couple car lanes from Smoke Fan over Galen. And just
Yeah.
another fantastic race from the Outlaw Nation guys. Really, really close battle throughout the whole entire race. Very, very exciting.
Yeah, thrilling to the finish. We saw such a dominating performance from Smoke Fan. If you told me that a gap from first and second was going to be anything closer than about 3 seconds, I would have laughed. But I tell you what, Galen put up a hell of a fight. 2.5 tenths off of the guy who kind of had command of the whole race is no short feat. Congratulations to Kalyn. That was a well-earned P2. Smoke Fan with the fastest lap of the race ran a 20.291, a blistering pace.
What a
To be
fantastic
able to,
race. Who got third again? Did you say it was Scotty?
it was, oh man, I didn't get to see it again. I'm sorry.
We'll bring.
I don't know who got P3. I had to look at it one more
Yeah,
time.
sending out the message now. We don't want to make you guys wait. Hopefully they'll get in the Discord and we can do an interview for your driver. Smoke Fan, fantastic run tonight. Taking home the checkered flag. Let me switch scenes here now that we can do it. Here we go. Back to the booth. But what a fantastic run tonight at Richmond Raceway. I mean, no short of exciting. Here's Slick in here. What's up, Slick? How you doing?
Hanging here like a hair in a biscuit, man.
Yeah, we seen you making some fantastic moves out there. Second place, most of the run behind Smoke Fan. Not many people. I don't think anyone had anything for his dominating performance tonight.
Sorry, dude. Can you repeat that? Your mic was lagging there for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm hearing some echo coming from you.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my earbuds real quick.
All right. All right, Dohar. If you would like your leader or your winner this race.
Can y'all hear me better now?
Yep, much better. I don't know what happened to Tyler. I'm hearing some huge mic echo coming from you. Like I'm talking to myself.
I don't hear anything.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yep, loud and clear. Slick, can you temporarily hearing some huge echo coming from you? All right, Smoke Fan. What a dominating performance there. Winning stage 1, stage 2, and taking home the win tonight at Richmond. How did you do it?
Just didn't make no mistakes, really. I was probably honestly a third or fourth place car. I made a front split bar adjustment right after qualifying, and I regretted it all race. Bulldog was a little quicker than me the first 20 laps. Beast was faster than me the last 20 laps, but just stayed smooth, didn't make no mistakes, kept hitting my marks, and brought that thing home.
Fantastic race from you. Dominating performance, led almost all of the laps tonight. But I'm with your second place guy now, Kalyn. What a fantastic run at the end there. Starting in the back for the beginning of stage 3 and running down everybody, including Smoke Fan, for that second place finish and really challenging for the lead. How did you do it? Are you there? I think everybody's had audio issues tonight.
Oh, there it is. Can you hear me now?
Hey, you're there. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I had it muted. Yeah, that's one of my favorite tracks. So that was a tough one though. Running with that many fast guys was tough.
Yeah. But fantastic run from you. I got to ask a question. What happened there? We seen you spin out and hit the inside wall. What transpired there?
Some lag issues apparently. So I dropped to the back, and I'm glad it cleared up for the last stage because I was really bummed out. I felt like I had a pretty good car I was really just shooting for top 5, so I'll take second all day long. And it seemed like I was a little bit better on the long run. I was catching Smoke. A couple more laps, I may have been able to get by him, but who knows?
Definitely. Well, a fantastic run for Kalyn, Smoke Fan, Slick, and everybody here in the Outlaw Racing Nation. I'm Matthew Heel along with Tyler Dohar signing out
Great
for another successful race. Take care, everybody.